So then the oil, I'll be using the Pennzoil Ultra Platinum Full Synthetic 0W20. Be using a Purolator Boss oil filter. I've got 17mm sockets for those. I've also, while the vehicle's on the ground, I've reached down here and I've loosened my oil cap so that it's easy to get to when it's jacked up. And I've released this dipstick so that oil will flow when I get to my oil change. So, alright, so now we're going to rotate the tires, and even if we weren't, I like taking this tire off so I can access the oil filter easier. Alright, so we got this tire off. We're just going to do this for now and finish the oil change the oil. So our next job will be to change our oil filter, which is right here. You can see how easy this is to get to with this wheel removed, and you can tell how close it is to this crossbar. So I have two things that I'll show you that I do to make this job a little easier. So the first is that I use Glad Press and Seal to protect that crossbar from excessive oil and such. So I just take a piece about like that, and I just kind of get down in here, just kind of shoving it in this gap that I've got right here. So just kind of cover that bar with this press and seal, wrap it around that bar like that. We're gonna get the other thing I do, because of the low clearance here in between the bar, bottom of that filter, is I choose to use a pliers style oil filter wrench for this vehicle, like this. And the reason is I don't have to get anything under it. I can just grab it from the sides. Alright, so now we're getting ready to do our oil change. We have 5.7 quarts of this. This is a 5-quart jug, so we had some left over plus a new one. So we use these pitchers so that we can measure out. This has 1.7, this has 4, for a total of 5.7 quarts. Then we take our new oil filter, just dip just a little bit of clean oil, and you can use a finger. I usually have gloves on, but I've went through all 3 pairs of my gloves today. So main thing, we're just covering this rubber seal on the oil filter with fresh oil. Then we're going to pre-fill our oil filter. You don't have to do this. I choose to. You can do what you want. It just on startup gives a little more oil quicker into the system to protect internal components, but you're talking about a fraction of a second. So I don't fill it up to the point where it's going to spill, but put a little bit of oil in there to help that out. So I've got my new oil filter. I have these sockets are going to be for the oil, so I'm going to wait on those. 14mm crush washer and my 17mm sockets for my oil drain plug. So for right now, I'm just going to use this box to keep this oil filter from tipping over, and going to grab one of these containers that I use to take the filter to recycle. So I have that with me. Normally I would just use disposable gloves. It's just my hands are sweaty. I started off with 3 pair, but we've done so much today. I've done a bunch of fluids today, so I got them all dirty. Alright, so let's go take this out to the vehicle. Okay. So here's our oil filter. We got our oil filter pliers. I'm going to start by rotating that counterclockwise to loosen. It's on there good. Never had it kind of stick that much before. I never use tools to tighten, so I put that on there so I know it was hand tightened. There, I got it to move. Okay, it's very loose. I take my tool out to keep it clean. There's no point in dripping it. See how I dented the filter? That's fine. It's already used up, so I'm not worried about damaging it with the pliers. So now, when I loosen it, it's going to drip. So I want to do this part slowly and just kind of let that oil at the top drip down. Make sure I get my pan. That's why I use the Glad Press and Seal. Spin it a little more. Okay, so it's pretty much that's the mess that you're gonna get. So now normally I would have on disposable gloves. It's gonna use this shop rag, take that off all the way. Okay, now I'm just going to take that filter and dump it down in my drain pan, let it kind of empty out there. Okay, so I can tell by looking at the clean base, always make sure that black rubber ring stayed on your old filter, and it did. I'm just going to give it, I'm gonna eventually put that filter in this container for recycle, but for right now I'm just going to give it time to drain whatever's going to drain. And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to take my rag, just kind of wipe off this mating surface here where our new filter's going to go. I'm going to kind of get up in that groove. Get that as clean as I can. Should look brand new, really. And it does. Okay, so there's that. And then, because you're still going to get drips out of there, I'm going to leave my Glad Press and Seal in place until I get this on. So. Okay, so once you get it lined up, you just spin it on until it contacts the base. Alright, so now it's contacted the base, but it's not tight. So I'm just kind of drying the oil off my hand. Want to get a good grip on it and turn it by hand. And that's it. So now that I got that on there, I'm going to grab this press and seal, just kind of gently pull it away, put it down into the pan here, and you'll see that it did its job in keeping all this area clean. You might have a drip or something, and that's it. Now I do see a few drips back here on the oil pan that went behind from when the filter spins. It kind of gets a little bit on the oil pan, but that was a very minor, so that's a very clean job. So now this old oil filter has had plenty of time to gravity. Whatever's going to come out has come out. So I'm just going to tip it back up this way. I'm going to set it in there, put the lid on, and take that to recycle when I'm done today. Set that aside. So now our oil filter is done. Alright, so orientation wise, there's our oil filter. So now we're getting to our oil drain bolt with the 17 millimeter socket on my 3/8 inch extension, so I can get a little bit of torque. It's torqued to 30 foot-pounds, so I'm gonna need a little bit to break it free is all I'm trying to do. Okay, it's broke free. So now, this is an optional tool you can buy. I'll put it in the description. It's a 17 millimeter magnetic socket. There's a magnet right here so that when I get this broke free, it won't fall in the oil pan. So I got my pan ready to catch it. I need to get my socket on it first. It's not on there all the way. Alright. So now I get my oil pan under. You can certainly just use a regular ratchet to get that off. This way it just kind of keeps me out of the oil. So now while that's draining, let's clean up our little bolt right here. Also, last time I did this oil change, I put this aftermarket plug on with a little magnet, but it really doesn't catch much of anything, and it doesn't start as easy on the threads. So I'm gonna switch back to my original Honda drain plug and put my new washer on it. Alright, so we let this drip for a little bit. It's down to just a very slow drip. So I'm just going to kind of wipe the surface. I know it's going to keep dripping. It's going to get oily again, but I'm just wanting to give it one wipe before I put my new bolt on there, and then I'll clean it up after I get it to stop dripping. So we have our new bolt ready with our new crush washer. And so I just want to start that by hand. Just want to get it up there. Get it lined up. So just by hand till it contacts the base. And then I just kind of give it a turn the best I can with my hand. That'll be enough to get the oil to stop dripping. So now I can take a moment, clean anything up that dripped. Okay, so I use my regular 17 millimeter socket on my torque wrench that's set to 30 foot-pounds. Make sure I got it in a tightening position on my ratchet. Just try to get that socket on there. There it is. Okay, that's it. Alright, so we got our 5.7 quarts of oil ready. We have this nice funnel that just fits perfect. I'll put links in the description. It's on the pricey side, but I really like it, and the handle fits perfect, kind of holding it in place. I'll go ahead and just keep a hand on it. Don't pour it too fast. So this pitcher has 4 quarts in it, and the other one has 1.7 minus whatever we pre-filled our oil filter with. And kind of get my headlight down there to see where the funnel's going into the vehicle, just to keep an eye on it, make sure the oil's not backing up and overflowing and causing a mess, making sure all the oil gets in there. Okay, let me go get the other one. Alright, one little drop right here. So now I'm going to want to give it a second to drain down in there. I'm going to push my dipstick back in all the way. Going to put my rag down here so when I lift that up I can grab it, not let it drip in the engine. And then I've already wiped and cleaned this fill cap. I'm just going to kind of wipe the actual area right there. Put this back on. Just kind of snug that up. That oil change is done. Of course you can run it, check the level. I just know that this takes 5.7. I've done it so many times, I'm confident in that. So the oil change is done. Okay, so we're going to reset our maintenance minder. I'm going to tap the start button but not start it and just kind of go into this accessory mode. Let this infotainment kind of start up. Okay, so I hit the button once and then it's saying accessory mode, so I'm going to hit it again. Still not started, but it puts it in accessory mode. And then when I hit settings, it'll have the vehicle show, where if you don't do that, vehicle will be grayed out. So I'm going to put vehicle, and I'm going to go down with this arrow to maintenance info. Maintenance info. Oil life 50%. I'm going to hit reset. Would you like to reset maintenance information? Reset. Now we did everything else, but I don't think it's gonna show it because it probably didn't think it was due. Okay, so it's not gonna let me reset all the other stuff we did, but that's why I keep my own record of it. So that's how you reset it. I'm gonna go ahead and start the vehicle. So first of all, there's the mileage, 59,789. This is our 60,000 mile service. So I'm going to let that run and check air in my tires while I let it run. And then after I get all the tires to 35 psi, I'll shut it off, let it sit for 10 minutes, and then I'll check my oil dipstick to make sure that's done. And that's everything. So I hope, making sure my light's not off, I hope that's been helpful, and I appreciate you watching. Please check the video description. It'll be very helpful information for you. And if you purchase anything there with the Amazon links, I appreciate you supporting the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, but it gives me a small commission. Thank you for watching.